translate the words?
Sorry. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي واجعل لي وزيرا من أهلي هارون أخي اشدد به أزري وأشركه في أمري كي نسبحك كثيرا ونذكرك كثيرا إنك كنت بنا بصيرا. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما وارنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وارنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه. وصلى اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه وسلم. ربنا اغفر لنا وارحمنا وأنت خير الراحمين. آمين. الحمد لله رب العالمين. آمين. Inshallah, we will continue to study a new verse from the section Nahl, 16th section of the Qur'an, and verse number 97. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. من عمل صالحا من ذكر أو أنثى وهو مؤمن فلنحيينه حياة طيبة ولنجزينهم أجرهم بأحسن ما كانوا يعملون. So it is an interesting, of course, I choose something interesting and directly related to our life nowadays, verses. So the translation reads, as you see it on the screen, whoever does good deeds, whether men or women, while being a believer, we will give them a good life, and we will certainly give them their reward according to the best that they ever did. مَا كَانُوا يَعْمَلُونَ. The word ever is included here because kanu is used as if they used to do. I mean, this is the rule of the Quran to read. When kanu refers to God's name, Inna Allah kana aliman hakima, when it's said in this way, literal means is God was, kanu, used to be, as if in the past, the literal meaning. But it is when it is used for God, it means eternally from the beginning. For us, beginning. He has no beginning, and he is the creator of the whole universe. But eternally, when it is used for human beings, whatever they did before, and they have been doing continuously, it means that is what the translation said they ever did. So this is a bit detailed, but if you study a little bit Arabic, a little bit, so you say kane, he was, it was. So وَكَانَ اللَّهُ عَلِيمًا حَكِيمًا. You said, Allah was. No, that is why this is how the kana is important in the Quranic language, in Arabic as well, in general. So another point that before going into the questions and details of the meaning through the questions, some technical information may be needed. وهو من ذكر أو أنثى. It means whether men or women. Now, it is the rare case in the Quran that Quran refers or makes the distinction between men and women separately by mentioning it either verbally like this or pronouns using female and male pronouns referring to women and men. The reason is explained, the scholars explain this. So Quran's general addressee are women, men and women together anyways. Now, there's no separation. Oh, but because of the nature of the language, male form is used. Not because male is meant to be the addressee. No, men and women. But when there is a specific emphasis on women's side, specific, exceptional cases, Quran makes the distinction by mentioning two genders either separately or individually addressing women directly or men and women. والمحسنين والمحسنات والمنفقين والمنفقات. These kind of usage specifically emphasizing men and women, but sometimes specifically separating women's case from men's case. In this case, the female form of the verb or pronoun is used. That's general information. So when you read the Quran in general, we can open the door. So the door can be opened. Door can be left open if you don't mind. Something stoppage may be there. Stop. Is there any stop at the bottom? No. Okay. If it is possible, I know. So it's not possible. Oh yeah, you can put a chair and make this. Yeah. Okay. And these are.
We were talking about something between man and woman.
Yeah. Thank you for reminding. But I think the subject is clear now, and most of the people, inshallah, know it. Yeah. وَلَنُحْيِيَنَّهُ حَيَاةً طَيِّبَةً. Give them a good life, and we will certainly give them their reward. Nuhyi is used again in other technical information. Doesn't say really we will give them a good life and we will certainly give them their reward. That doesn't say give them. وَلَنُحْيِيَنَّهُمْ. Definitely we will make it high. How do you say? Alive. It means somebody's hiding there. Come. How many people are we? So look how comfortably sit there, yeah. As if you are a secret agent or something. So don't be shy. So how do you say, make alive, but there must be a word to make something alive, to animate, make it really a living life. Not only an animated life, must be a better word for it. No? Very active, lively, full of life. نحيي ولنحيينه. For example, excuse me, when the same word is used for the next creation, you understand it means resurrection. Now, when it is used for here, as if you were being, or somebody was being really somehow disappointed, not with hope, hopeless. So when somebody, from man or woman, does a good action, وهو مؤمن, while being a believer, he will be given a very active, satisfactory life. Revived. But otherwise, material being, I'm living like a planter. I wouldn't use the other word, well, meaningless, but alive, excited. That's what we can understand, this one. So, وَلَنُحْيِيَنَّهُ حَيَاةً طَيِّبَةً. So, again, good life is not hayatan jamilatan. So difference again. Tayyib means not only good, but also really better. Tayyib. How do you say it?
Like satisfying.
Satisfying, tayyib, yeah, satisfying life. So, وَلَنَجْزِيَنَّهُمْ أَجْرَهُمْ بِأَحْسَنِ مَا كَانُوا يَعْمَلُونَ. Now, I think this technical information needed just to get to know that not every word is, as we read in the English translation, really reflects the detailed meaning, the nuances in the meaning. So they have to use it one word, choose one word that generally encompassing the general meaning. So we have to know when we read English translations of the words, there is something behind it. So, question, can we do good deeds without believing God? Or can we separate belief from good deeds? Can we separate belief from good deeds? Here is my belief. Here is my good deeds.
No.
No. We can.
I think it's difficult to separate them because our belief inherently tells us what is good and bad. I mean,
Oh, no. Okay. Excellent. Our belief requires good actions. That's what I wanted to get, but don't misunderstand that it is my opportunity now to delve into the subject. Now, our belief says, if you believe, then good deeds. Do good deeds, right? So, okay, don't bother. It is distracting my attention. So, but it is very strange to notice the structure of the sentence. Now, so it is interesting to notice the structure of the sentence here. It doesn't say, oh, whether whoever does good deeds, whether men or women, while being a believer, if you know a little bit Arabic, you understand that وهو مؤمن وهو مؤمن, not necessarily يؤمن ويفعل ويعمل. In this case, يعمل, yeah. So عمل يعمل, because in the Arabic language, again, فعل, it means to act, to do something, and عمل, to do something. Good, عمل, that's my deeds, that's my actions, as if. But when it used fa'ala, it's referred to the actions that we do without consciousness, fa'ala. But or we do our actions as human beings, but we don't realize what is the reason in it, what is the secret in this action. That is called fear. I'm doing something, but not really conscious of it, what I am doing. That is called fa'ala. Now, when the amala verb is used, consciously, deliberately done.
So there's intention.
Now, for example, it's very simple, but just pay attention. Just some small details, but very interesting. Our eyes see. Well, do I do anything? Just like this. It sees. You see it automatically. That is called fear. When you deliberately use your eyes this way and that way, that is called amal. So somebody may say, is fear. Unconsciously done. But somebody may consciously and deliberately does Allahu Akbar, amal. That's called in the Quranic language amal. So always use you will be rewarded or you will be really given the compensations according to your amal. Amal, intentional actions. Now, because my heart is working, it is action, fear. So I had a good heart working. I cannot get any reward for it. I can get only for my amal. So that is another detail. So good deeds here, to do good deeds is here, amal. It means consciously done. But Quran is really, as the second part of the question said, can we separate belief from good deeds? How can they be integrated? Now, if someone does a good deed with the consciousness of belief that he is doing good deeds according to his creator's purpose of creating that object or that action. For example, if I see a person or a poor guy, and I want to give some charity from my heart, the people say, I took pity of this poor guy. So here is some money for you or something to help him. That is just amal, not min. While he is being a believer, as a result of the consciousness of his belief. But his belief, we have to be careful here. That is cultural. You understand what you said? That's how the culture really perceives it, but it's not really reflects the reality. So here is belief and good deeds are integrated in an inseparable. What does it mean? I believe in God. God told me, give to charity to poor people. Now, that is God's command. And I have to do it now. No, that is not what it means here. Definitely, in order to do deeds, good deeds, not actions, but amal, good deeds, we have to have the belief, but while performing it, integrated in it the necessity of the requirement of belief, whatever the belief requires. What does it mean? Now, giving to charity is typical example. So I'm giving to charity being conscious of what I am doing, that this sense of taking pity on the needy one is not mine. Now, belief necessitates it. It is not mine. It is given to me. So I am not betraying it. Got it? I'm not betraying it. I am not rejecting or neglecting it. Integration of belief and action. So I am not separating it. No, within the action, I will see belief operating there. So when I give the money or anything, but let's make it simple money, I know that this money, the power that the money has to buy something, to get something, and it is a means of exchange. Paper is nothing, but it's the means of exchange. Everybody knows it. So whatever this person, needy person, buys with it, this is my property. Instead of buying, for example, something for a pair of shoes for myself, I gave the money to the needy one. He took it now. Now, this property in my hand doesn't belong to me. Its creator is God, not me. So I am blessed, but blessed to be educated, to learn. What do I learn there? I am not the creator. I am not the owner. It is just given to me as a trust. Just I am as if I am a renter there or tenant there. The owner of the property is him. So I cannot take pride of it. I am a good person. I did. No. The sense belongs to your creator who created your senses, and the power, let's say money. Money belongs to the creator, not to you. It is given to you just to dispose it as to your own needs. Extra ones are going to be used as a means of education. Education what? While I am having this, let's say, I have 2 oranges, but I need 1 orange and 1 is extra, and I see another person who needs it. Make this very simple example. So when I give the orange, because when I give money to this person, he's going to buy an orange. Supposedly, not truck, inshallah, very rare in Manhattan, unfortunately. And anyways, let's be positive. This person is going to have an orange. Now, I had 2 orange. I gave the second orange to the needy one. I must admit that the orange I have belongs to the creator. I didn't create it. I just paid for the transportation or other means. But the creator owns it. The owner is the creator of the orange. It's not mine. How can I be proud of it? Yeah? Now, the person may be happy. I would say, oh, I made the person happy. No, you didn't. Because you have no share in what you did. All belongs to God. So if we do our actions with this consciousness, that is called while being a believer. Right? But as you said, if someone doesn't believe that the orange is not mine, it is given to me as a gift, extra. And no one can create orange, by the way. So the one who created the orange must be the one who created the orange tree and climate and the season and all the solar system and the universe. So the owner of the universe is the owner of this orange as well. This consciousness makes your action good deed, amal, in the language of the Quran, when it is done with belief. All right. Yes.
So wouldn't a more accurate, because you have in quotations here, good deeds, wouldn't it, because it's amida, wouldn't it be intentional good deeds?
Sorry?
More- Is here it says good deeds, right, in quotations,
Yeah, in quote unquote.
which is supposed to be a reference to amida. So shouldn't that
So,
be
so
intentional?
excuse me, next to?
It's a reference to min amila salihan, right?
No.
So the good deeds are the amila.
Yeah, amila, yes, salihan, salih.
So then shouldn't this be, not shouldn't be, but could it be also be intentional good deeds?
No, good deeds is salihan. Amal
So-
is intentional.
So,
The amila is the action, the intentional action.
yeah, it must be so. It must be
Yeah.
so. For example, now I don't want to go further, but you made it necessary now. For an unbeliever, may do some amal.
Mm.
It means conscious deed. Now we will study that. We will study. He can also share. Don't we see that many either humanist people don't believe in God, by say maybe a creator, I don't know, but initiator of the world, and now he has nothing to do with this world. It is working by itself, for example, or I don't know. I am a human being. I felt in this way. I cannot resist myself. I prefer not to resist myself and do the action. That is amel as well. Consciously doing it because now accompanied, integrated with belief or not, that is another subject that we are going to now, integrated part. Now, since we are there, let me ask the question now, raise the question. Does an unbeliever in God, by definition, who is, I don't know, no one knows. So an unbeliever, by definition, it may happen. So does a good can an unbeliever do good action? Let's consciously do a good action. What is the difference between unbelievers doing good action and believers consciously doing good action?
A believer does it, it's tied into their belief in God, whereas if a disbeliever does it, they're doing it because they consciously want to do it, not because it's tied to their belief necessarily.
That is believers' action. How do you describe, thank you, would you describe unbelievers' action, which is a good deed? For example, there may be someone who doesn't care anybody else, rather than giving steals. Yes, but this person doesn't steal, plus helps the needy. There are many institutions, especially in New York, run by non-believers.
They attribute it to themselves instead of attributing it to the owner of the universe.
Mhm.
So they take credit for them doing it as opposed to giving credit where it belongs.
No. Maybe they may be modest. It's a very excellent point. They may be modest, yeah, but still they can say, no, look, I am a good person. Huh? I take care of the needy ones. Why do you think these people do this kind of good actions? What is the reason for it? Motivation for them? We understand that the believers have to do it. They understand this. But why do you think non-believers also take care of the others? Since they say there is no creator, as if the universe is a lost property. I found it.
I think there's an instinctual feeling that God gives all of us
Mhm.
to be able to take care of others.
So that
Excellent point.
differences as
Excellent point. Did you want to say something?
I'm just going to add, I think the purpose or the motive driving them might be more about the self and fulfilling some sort of nafsi desires. Or,
For himself. No.
because if they don't believe in a God or a creator, then I think sort of naturally the intuition might be, well, who am I doing this for? I might be doing it for myself because I feel some sort of inherent need to
No.
do something good.
So do you think in the eye of
Also
God,
message-
excuse me,
Someone also messaged in the chat.
No, on the laptop and Zoom.
oh, see, like,
Because it is part of our
Yeah.
fitra.
because it is part of our futra. Okay. All right. Or good points. Existentially, we are given this. Now, let's make a distinction first of all. Thank you
Nadia.
for the Nadia. Yeah, no, thank you, Nadia. So, that is how we are created. So, in fact, again, I'm using the same word, existentially, we are given these qualities. So, in fact, if it is existential, it is given by the creator of this existence. Logical? No? So, creator of existence gave it to you. For example, the wood part of this table. Let's assume that the wood is a conscious being. Just an example, analogy. So can the wood take pride of being a very useful table? The wood consciously can, because do you think this useful table, not the wood, becoming a table, being a table, the wood, can we say that I am a good designer? No, because the design is done by someone else. So I am a good, I don't know, engineer or something, all the qualities. No, but he can say, I am a wood, that's it. Not a table. Wood becoming a table, just to see the distinction. So as if human beings are given this nature, but it doesn't belong to us. All the qualities belong to the creator. Yes, I think this case is how we are created. Credit goes to the creator. But is there no difference between a person who cares the needy and who doesn't? Is there any difference? Or there is no difference? Yeah, you seem to be convinced, both of you. So yes, there is a difference. Where this difference is to be counted in according to the Quran.
Say that again?
According to the Quran, this difference is to be counted in the hereafter. Interesting. But in which case? Now, it may be a little bit, it needs a kind of what the Quran presents, the subjects, or a bit information, background information. Now, Quran makes it very clear. If the Quran talks in general terms, it means population, people. But of course, people means certain amount of individuals. So if we, God speaks, we have not sent prophets and Nabi. وَمَا كُنَّا مُعَذِّبِينَ إِلَّا نَبْعَثَ رَسُولًا. So we have not sent prophets. Then they are not responsible to act with consciousness of God, consciousness of God, how they are left with their, as they are created, whether they will contradict themselves or not. In this sense, humanism is right. Do you understand this? So, for example, in another verse, that it is not only one verse, there are many inferences, but clearly stated verses. Some these people, very religious, conservative people, wouldn't agree with me, although Quran says it clearly, but I understand their feelings. So they want to uphold the believers and leave aside other good people, as we call them, good people. So now the Quran describes when the people of deniers would are taken to hell, the guardians of the hell at the door, they will say that, let me remember the ayat now. قال خزائنها ألم نأتكم رسل منكم يتلون عليكم آيات ربكم. It's a very interesting verse. Have not prophets, messengers, here messenger, in the other verse prophets, Nabi, it's messenger, Rasul. Have not prophets come to you, reciting you, delivering you the message, ayat rabbikum. It's a very interesting structure. Your Lord's evidences. Ayat means signs. Signs, which is called the sentences of the Quran. Signs. And every creature is in the Quran also to use the same word, ayat, signs. Yes. And also prophetic miracles are called signs, the same word. It's very interesting. So it is important to know. Not every sign means the same when you read translation. So reciting to you your Lord's ayah, not our Lord's. No, it means you have to take care of how come I exist. Think about it. So have they not, Rasul, messengers came to you reminding you your Lord's signs? And if they say, no, I didn't know, then they are not responsible. You understand? But everything finished there? No, responsibility now remains with the qualities, if you like, existential qualities in their own existence. Right? So they have good qualities, they have their feelings, whether they contradict their feelings or not, if they have not received the messenger. So somebody may say, this is an interesting point that we have to know, and we have to really be careful to avoid making generalizations. So let's say in the mountaineer area, some people in the villages, people never heard prophet. I know that they don't know. In China, billions of people don't know. They have not heard the prophet. But social media is everywhere. Yeah. What they hear? A terrorist religion, Islam. Yeah? Would you like to follow a terrorist religion? But in fact, it is or it is not. No, you heard this., religion. So, for example, people say, Uh, Christians say, example, very simplified example. Christians say that Jesus is God's son, as if God gave birth to a son. I never seen any Christian believing in this way. So you say, I'm not going to be following this religion. It's God gives, the creator of the universe gives birth to a child. Are you joking? Although it is not what the Christianity in fact says, they interpret it, but still somehow blurred idea, confused idea. They're not clearly and straightforward, sharp distinction. Everything in the universe needs to be created, otherwise cannot exist by themselves and give existence to themselves, or they need to be created. Either be creator or the creator. There is no in between. Half creator, half created. Because to be a creator means to be absolute. Can you divide absolute? Absolute divided by 2 equals to, tell me. The absolute divided by 2 equals to?
Yeah.
Sorry?
It's still absolute.
Still absolute. Because absolute doesn't have the end, so that this half goes this way, but there is no beginning, so it can't be. So absolute, infinite. I think I should use the mathematical terms. Infinite cannot be divided because there is no limit. So absolute cannot be divided. So either number or infinite. No in between. Half number, half. No, that is the confusion of the Christian. But they don't really straight away say that God gave birth to a child. No, that naive, very naive understanding of Christianity. So if a person says, I'm not going to believe in a religion which says God gave birth to a child, you never pay attention to it anymore. That is how most of the people might have heard the name Islam. What is it? Huh? For example, have you heard the name Buddha and Buddhism and also some literature? Yeah. Have you studied it? No. Do you believe in Buddhism? Why? Now, general principles work there. Huh? They say the universe is in its entirety. That's just how it is. So we have to harmonize ourselves at a very simple level of understanding Buddhism. So they don't accept the creator. And how do you explain the existence of the things then if there is no source of existence? So you say, no, thank you, not good for me, right? So do you think in New York, among not only uneducated people, no, among professionals, there are many people who don't know what Islam, the Prophet, anything. There are or not? Who says there are? Who says no? Everybody heard of Islam. 2 options. Third, there are, first, there is no one who doesn't know Islam. Everybody knows about Islam. Who says this? No? There are some people, not lots of people, majority of the intellectual, professional people who don't know what Islam is at all. Okay, excuse me, can you pull this way? There is the lady behind you. She is going to have some backache. Sorry. So, got it? Hearing about Islam never means knowing what exactly it is. So, who is responsible for it? Who is responsible for it? Talu. Huh? Who is responsible for it? Okay. No. We people did not present Islam to the people in such a way that they will know what it is. Yeah. We say, Allahu Akbar. Why these people are crazy shouting? For them. So Islam is, we have one God. One God? Really? Where does it reside? Huh? Where is the residence? To me, one God means nothing. To me, too. It needs explanation. But now, those people who don't believe and don't know, but knowing and denying, for example, knowing that there is a religion who says the universe has an absolute infinite creator and everything in the universe needs to be created. I don't want to submit to him. I want to be by myself. That is preference. That is different. It doesn't really, rather than rejecting it, rejectors are very rare, very rare. Maybe 1% of New York really rejecting it, but most of them doesn't subscribe to it. So I just want to be by myself. I don't want to entertain myself and take care of myself. Yeah, I don't mind whether there is a creator or not, maybe, but what shall I do with it? Yeah, I have to take care of my life. That is what they say. So these people are responsible whether contradict themselves or not. But have they not responsible for thinking what they are doing? That is something else. So, for example, if you have your dinner and the fruits, vegetables there, how can anyone say, how come these things come into existence? So they have to have their levels of responsibility. So, but if they don't know, they are responsible for their existential feelings, whether they contradict these feelings or be respectful to it. But is it like the believer's action which is performed with the consciousness of God? No, but they may be rewarded for in another way. That is not our subject because our responsibility. We are not going to reward them. So, did we get something? And how can they be integrated? Belief and action and must be according to the teaching. And I understand that this teaching is correct. And can we confirm it? Really, when I am doing some actions, if it is a good action, I cannot own it. I cannot take pride of it. I can be only thankful. Thankful to the Creator that He gave me this sense. Thankful to the Creator that to perform this good action. So, opportunity. He gave me the opportunity to do this. That's why in Islamic understanding civilization, they don't really reject that some people are created in poor condition or ill, for example, or somehow disabled, cannot work. I mean, we don't want them to be disabled, but they are created in this way that this is an opportunity for me to exercise good actions. As far as I am concerned, I'm not happy that this person is crippled, disabled. Understood the difference? Or am I confusing? Is it clear? All right? Now, because you look as if I thought surprised. Now, I have to be thankful to God to give me opportunity to practice good deeds. For example, prayer time came, arrived. So I said, Alhamdulillah, you gave me another opportunity to be with you, for example. Yeah. Or Ramadan came, Alhamdulillah, I am given another opportunity to fast and practice how we should really learn the Quran and practice it. Because Ramadan is we studied this, Ramadan is the month of Ramadan is the month of
Qur'an.
The Quran says Ramadan is the month of the Quran. So we're learning and acting accordingly. You are right, worship, but without learning, you cannot act. Now, that's why Quran says, in this month, we revealed the Quran. Then fast. Fast means what? Reduce your relationship with the transient worldly life. Spare time to study Quran more. Inshallah, that is the spirit of Ramadan in summary. So, question 2. Time is going to be absurd. If we do good deeds, do we receive reward for them in this world as well? You seem to be sure. Come on, explain.
Any bad deeds you receive it in the hereafter, and you also receive a part of it in this planet, and according to that explanation, if you do a good deed, you receive it in the afterlife and on it as well.
So practically, can you explain it? For example, how do we really feel the reward of it in this world? It's very simple. I'm not really.
Yeah, I think there's like a cleansing of the soul that happens whenever you do a good deed in belief, and that's the reward.
So within your own existence,
Yeah.
you feel comfortable there. When you, if somebody innocent, not your enemy, or that's different. If you kill somebody innocent, even by accident, let's say by accident means you are not conscious of it. So will you be happy? Because I killed the man, but it was an accident, none of my business, or will you feel really bad? Yes? Why? Although not intentional, can you imagine? So if it was intentional, oh, you will never forget it. Never forget it. So it means, as far as human reality, existential reality, the way we are created, tells us that when you do good deeds, you feel relaxed. You start telling to everyone, let's assume that you went back. You did a very good deed. Somebody was about to be killed and you saved. You went home. The first thing what you talk about, what you did. Happy, share happiness. If you do something bad, what you do, never mention it. That is very reward of it. That is why an unbeliever also is expected to do good deeds, because it is innate. We are really ingrained in our own creation, so that we will be inclining to towards doing good deeds and really escaping from, trying to run away from bad deeds. So that God says, look, I have already prepared your reality. Yeah, and God, your reality. So don't contradict it. At least, whether you are believing or not. But if you do it with belief, accompanied in it, integrated in it, believe, that is the purpose of our existence. Yes. God.
I was gonna say, I think this failure to honor the feelings that God gave you about right and wrong, because you said it's in us by design. I think that's where a lot of, like you said, like where you lose peace. I think that's where a lot of people, like a lot of their emotional and mental problems come from, is they deny their conscience. And
Contradict.
Yeah, and they chase things that they know make them feel bad about themselves, but they keep doing it. Eventually, they deteriorate mentally.
So this consciousness is very important because if a person acts with egotistic concerns, this person never feels happy, contradicting himself. But your profession side, there might be other stimulating factors external, but not necessarily that innocent. But still, it is ingrained to us that we are created automatically, if you like, inclined towards good to do and escape from bad to do. So egotistic attitude is bad attitude and wrong attitude, contradicting one's nature. That is why the cure, I believe, although the other motives are, triggering motives are externally existing, but okay, fakat, Arabic fakat. So, but how to cure it? So there is that motivating power which makes me almost crippled not to really get out of it. So am I 100% innocent and there is no cure for it? God says there is cure for every illnesses. So if there is a cure for every illnesses, so there is something happened to me. Yes, usually while my child on school years experiences, when the people are innocent and feels really lots of experiences, traumas, it is very difficult to overcome it. I know that. But at the same time, we have to make an effort not choosing egotistic attitude, but really not egocentric, but creator-centric attitude in order to overcome or suppress these trauma experiences remained in me. That is why still it is important to really use one's existential reality. It means the way we are created, if you like, programmed with this program. Right? Yeah. Well, there is this.
I think for them, like from a mental health perspective, I think the difference is exactly like what you're saying. There's a cure to every illness.
Yes, there is. We have to be positive.
You have to believe that there's a cure to every illness. And that cure is when you go to a therapist.
Yeah. But
right? Just like if we have cancer or if we have a broken leg, we go to a doctor, we get chemotherapy.
Yeah.
That part is that.
Yes.
Mental illness and those externalizing factors, that are the externalizing factors that create the mental illness, that ends up corrupting for a lot of people their inner existential experience, right? And so to ask a person who has almost a corrupted internal existential experience to find their own balance It's incredibly challenging because they don't have that. It's been corrupted for them.
Now,
And
let's
that's the
take,
cure that you
let's
go
take
to.
your example. Now, it is a main problem of our age, one of the main problems of our age. So, in the example of cancer, as you said, because psychological things are not that palpable, so we cannot handle it, but cancer is obvious. So we can put in the lab and study it. That one is not really to be studied in the lab as a chemical reaction, but they do try something with the brain. Yeah, some people may have it. You know, really biological reasons, that there are quite a number of people having these biological reasons behind it. I understand that. So cancer. Now, I have to do something. I may be successful or not. No, chemotherapy, etc., whatever medically to be done. So we can do it, all right. But at the same time, there is nothing left to us, or having a positive attitude, not criticizing it, not really getting depressed, but saying that my creator knows best. He created me for a temporary base. I don't have to live until 90 years old and really be completely dependent on other people. No, who said that? Who is pleased that many people in this home care, they want to die and go away from this world. So I don't have to be in another way. My creator gave me life. My creator gave me the opportunity to thus far. Thank him. I thank him. Thank you, my creator. But from now on, I have to accept this is how I am created. No, not everybody has to live 80 years old. Who said that? Have a positive attitude. When somebody has a positive attitude, this is medically proven that this pseudo tablets,
Placebo,
placebo,
yeah, that when people take
placebo,
placebo,
placebo.
yeah.
All right. Okay. Pseudo. No. Placebo tablets have no effect. But doctor says if you take this for a while, for a week, you are done. Perfect. So,
But the ability to do that,
sorry?
the ability to do that, to have that positive mindset, comes from a healthy brain, a healthy body and healthy brain, right? It comes from being taught that or trained that. You can obviously still develop a positive mindset, but people who went through certain childhood traumas where they were taught that you're going to be the victim always, that someone's always going to harm you, that someone's always going to come after you.
That was obsession.
It becomes the way they view the world, right? So then once they enter religion, now they start interpreting religion as the same thing, right? The way I see the world is not the way the world is, it's the way I am. And so with that as well, there needs to be that work done first to be corrected, to then enter the existential experience.
Can I jump in on that real quick and comment on that?
Sure.
So something that's actually very good for a person's psychological health is the ability to have principles and boundaries and then to stand by them. And what happens here is when you have certain principles, like let's say, God put it in me to value honesty. And so now I've chosen, regardless of my circumstances, that I'm going to stand by honesty. And there are many examples in history of people who have gone through very brutal experiences, but they'll choose principles as opposed to, I think he said, egotistical choices, just quick pleasures.
Yeah.
That by itself raises a person's sense of value, and it actually diminishes the shame that they receive while going through traumatic experiences.
There's nothing that I would disagree with that. I think instinctually, God has created us in a way where we will always go to healing.
Yes.
But the
Really.
thing is, with the way in which we go to healing, sometimes even maladaptive ways, right, are still trying to push us towards healing somehow. Right, I think that's where God comes in to help, again, moving from the maladaptive to the adaptive. But there's still a process in which a person must be able to recognize that external factors do affect the way they think and view the world.
Yeah, maybe, do it, but we are also, I mean, in extreme cases aside, but we are given some sort of ability to overcome it because people change their religion, people change their worldview in the course of time. It's not impossible altogether. Time is up, so very practical question. Last question. Why do some people who do good deeds and still suffer from undesired creation? Do you think if I do good deeds, I will never get cancer? What do you think? So I say, for the believing people, do you think the prophets are given death, although the best people they are? Because they did something wrong.
They have some of the hardest.
So this, this Christian understanding of suffering and also original sin was very interesting. As if we have to. We have to die because we are sinful. Not my fault. If I am originally created sinful, it is the creator's fault, manufacturer's fault. Simple, but we need to solve the problems for ourselves, but the living conditions are generally applied. So believing people may have psychological comfort, psychological, spiritual comfort, satisfaction in life, satisfied within themselves. Non-believing people definitely will find their existence meaningless, purposeless. I'm going to die, disappear from this existence. There is no satisfaction. There is no really hope for my future. I'm trying to build up my financial power or properties, etc. But at the end, I know I'm going to leave everything pointless, pointless, pointless. So unbelief turns everything into pointlessness, pointless. So this is what is going on in our spiritual world. But there is a, let's say, a storm, and some houses are damaged because of the flood, let us say, and a believer, very, very, friend of God believer, wali, they call it, very close believers, sincere believers' houses uniquely spared. There is no such thing in physical terms here. So physical terms are created in general, equally applied to everyone. That is why, why do some people who do good deeds and still suffer from undesired creation physically? But a believer, let's say, a unbeliever's house is collapsed because of the flood created by God. No, not the failure of city system. Flood came from the ocean. An unbeliever's house is created. How he sees the world, a believer's house is created, how he sees the world. It is so really different. So a believer said, property belongs to the creator. He gave it, he took it. It is his property anyway. An unbeliever say, I worked for it for 40 years. Cannot really forgive, accusing whom? Then it comes to their mind, God created it. But when they are having belief in God, never occurred to their mind. For example, life, health is given We took it for granted. Okay, I'm healthy. When something happens, why God is creating this illness? What did I wrong? What did I do wrong? I'm an innocent person. I have been doing good actions, trying to do my best. Now God is not treating me well. Now, attitude is completely different. When something negative happens, most of the people remember God. When something positive happens, it happened. It's natural, isn't it? It's natural like this. How it is. I was lucky. When it is taken, God took it. Okay. So I think the physical treatment of in this world is equal to everyone. Belief in this world, psychological happiness, it means spiritual happiness, and in the hereafter, according to this belief status, however I believe, now the tool in this world, for example, I believe that my creator is the owner of this universe, so perfect and really huge. So I want a permanent satisfaction. No ending satisfaction. Who's going to give it to me? I'm going to die. My creator who gave me this sense can give it to me. So believe in the creator, that he gave me these feelings, he can satisfy these feelings. Nobody else. Because the universe is witnessing that he is able to do everything. Here is the universe, wonderful creation, endless, miraculous existence. So he will satisfy me. He can satisfy me by giving this sense, these senses. He's promising me that I'm going to satisfy them. Just get ready to experience it, to really practice it. So this body must die, and I must be given a new tool, a new means to practice what I expected from my creator. That's why death must happen and resurrection must happen. My spirit doesn't die. Got it? Is it difficult? I'm good. I went a bit fast. Do you think it made sense somehow? No? Yes or no?
Yeah, I did.
No, because we have to understand that body is the tool for the spirit. Spirit is endless. Do you want to have happy life for 1 year and then miserable life, or continuously happy life?
But what about the people who internally are happy because they're believers?
So internally,
They're happy
yeah,
because they're believers
yes,
and because that they know that this world is a means to an end. And like you said, that physical treatment in this world is equal to everyone.
equally.
But what about the people who are believers and have been for a long time and have a strong God consciousness
Yes.
and devote their lives to God, but
Mhm.
let's say suffer physically
Yes.
throughout their existence?
Yeah, in this world, transient, yes.
And they're praying for them to find relief, but they don't find relief in this world
Physically.
physically.
But they misunderstand the prayer. Prayer is not bargaining. It is another subject, my dear friend. Prayer is not bargaining. Prayer is acknowledgement. So bodily treatment doesn't change. That is, it's a big subject. Well, we can have, I think very often we refer to this subject. Do you remember this?
Talked about this.
Sorry?
We've had a whole lecture on this.
Yeah, we had. So they may be in video recordings at NYU. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is an interesting subject. I understand, but I don't know under which title we studied, when it was. So that is a separate subject to be studied. That is why prayer, what really prayer is. So we have to stop here. Really, at times. If you like, we can have a special session for it. Why not? Anyone who would you like to? Really?
I'm visiting, but I think it'd be really nice.
So you are just visiting. Welcome. So now you are going back soon. So we may, inshallah, we can organize. Yes, we can. What really prayer is all about? Our verbal prayers. Inshallah, we can have a session on it. Maybe I want to finish this series, but this series, let's say, we have another, but if I forget, remind me. I have many other things to do with that. Remind me. How about prayers? So you remind me, inshallah. Okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim. Wa akhiru da'wana and alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Assalamu alaikum, inshallah. See you next Tuesday. Will you be here? No. All right. But other friends, inshallah, 6 o'clock. As long as I am alive and Allah God gives me saha, I am here. So, wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.